you're back already. Go and train. You should practice 40 hours a day, at least.
As you approach the tree, you draw closer. Dozens of rotting You climb the tree and manage to sever one of the ropes. A corpse falls to the ground with an unpleasant squelch. Braving the search, you find something interesting in one of his pockets.
Godless he.
This is a familiar face. You've met him before, but something has changed since then. He sits on a stone with slumped shoulders, and his head droops over a fading weird candle.
You again. Be gone. Don't tempt me to resume my search. I haven't found them. There's nothing but madness around us. I'm too tired to go on.
You tell him about your meeting with the witch. He looks at you with desperation and confusion on his face. Then, although you don't know why, you hear your voice changing.
I'm here, and I see you, friend.
It's the witch speaking through you.
What? What's going on?
I know what you've been looking for. I know that you didn't find it. And I know that it's lost forever.
The man buries his face in his hands.
They're gone. You're alone now. But that doesn't mean that you have to be lonely forever.
He gazes up at you as if you must be his savior. You have no idea what's happening, much less what to say. You can muster only a few paltry platitudes, sounding a bit like, even though you realize that these words wouldn't comfort anyone in ordinary circumstances, the man does seem a little bit happier. Suddenly, he begins disintegrating into a cloud of weirdness.
The bottle.
Before the witch's voice stops ringing in your ears, you realize you've already taken out the empty bottle she gave you. You've been wandering through the weirdness so long that it doesn't even surprise you when the cloud of smoke flows into the bottle.
Now get back to me. Yes, I can see that you're back. And I'm delighted to be sure that you're actually real. But we'll get back to that. Now let's get back to the poor soul trapped in that vessel.
She gently takes the artifact out of your hands and chants something over it. You can feel the weirdness becoming thicker. Then you hear a voice. It doesn't belong to a human.
Easy. Don't be afraid. Come over. I promised you wouldn't be lonely anymore.
Her voice is gentle. It's as if she's trying not to scare something away.
Here, you won't find what you're looking for. But I found you a new home. A new master.
You hear something running towards you.
Here, meet your new friend.
The wolf stops by your feet and demands cuddles.
He might well have been a wolf way back in the past. Then when he got lost, or lost what was dearest to him, he became a purpose. And this purpose was given a different shape by the witness. And now that he's found a new family, he's finally back to a more suitable self. Congratulations, you saved a soul. But this is my time to leave. Find me again and we'll talk about visiting the village. You see? I remembered.
An ethereal creature made of light and fog appears in front of you. The whole world seems hushed due to her presence. She is truly, remarkably beautiful. It must be Silence, the girl that the blacksmith told you about. As you come closer, the girl becomes aware of your presence. She runs into the nearby bushes, trying to hide from your eyes. You take a few slow steps, but there's no sign of her anywhere. Instead, a snow-white swan flies up into the sky.
So, what did you learn today?
The man is visibly surprised as he listens to your story. He's even more surprised to learn that his friend lives in your village.
Thank you. Then please greet him from me.
The shrine has faint traces of power. You feel a strange power rising around you. Is that a faint glow over the altar, or is it just a trick of the light? The priestess gazes at you with a blank. The priestess lays her hands on your chest. You find an elderly archer sitting near a small fire. He tends the flames with care and tenderness.
Oh, a visitor. I haven't seen a friendly human face for a long time. It's getting lonely out here.
With a gesture, he invites you to sit with him.
Beautiful, isn't it? Not much. I tend to the fire and watch over this place. Since I failed to fulfill my task, I need to sit here and watch the fire. I don't want to, but I have to. I'm certain something terrible will happen if I stop. Well, that's definitely a story for another time, but I do appreciate you asking.
As you sit by the archer, you notice that this fire doesn't behave like a regular fire. It has the power to push weirdness away, just like a menhir or a weird candle. Moreover, you suddenly notice that the man's legs are rooted into the ground with blue veins. The veins stretch from his feet into the fire pit. You form a question in your mind, but when you look into the man's eyes, you realize there's no point in asking it. His gaze is absent, and his movements are barely noticeable. You decide to leave it for another time and turn your eyes towards the fire. The flames flicker with a weird, magical rhythm. The choking stench of tallow permeates the air. A candlemaker's house stands alone within the weirdness, the inquisitive tendrils held at bay by dozens of flickering weird candles. There are many grisly tales about candlemakers who secretly made their candles out of people they were supposed to protect. Inside, the candlemaker leans heavily on his cast iron mold. barely managing to stay awake.
So fast! Oh, why do they burn out so fast? Oh, perhaps if I... No, I may need both later.
It takes a while for him to notice you.
The candles aren't snuffed out, are they? You're not one of the weird spawn. Doesn't matter. I can't sell you any anyway. I barely make enough to keep myself alive out here.
It doesn't take much to convince him.
Lead the way. I'd like to be in a place where I don't have to use all my goods myself. And where the ingredients to make them are easier to obtain.
His last words almost make you regret your decision. what was when you feel. The ringing sound of clashing swords grabs your attention as you walk through the weirdness. You approach, but you find a campsite instead of a battlefield. Several men drink mead, as if nothing of note was happening around them. Others battle monsters, and something about the movement and behavior of these beasts seems strange until you notice a druid chanting something near the campfire.
Are you sure? If you win, we'll reward you handsomely, but it's highly unlikely you'll survive this encounter. Congratulations. Here's the promised reward. But if I may ask this of you, lend me your ear for a moment. A favor. You can handle yourself, so I figure you won't be afraid to handle something that no sane person would ever agree to do. Somewhere out there, you might encounter a certain knight, a creature of enormous size and even more enormous appetite. I have to ask you for help to convince this creature to come back here. That's a long story, but he belongs here with me. Here, I can take care of his condition and keep trying to heal him.
godless healing.
Feels like an echo of something that happened before.
Ah, good to see you. There's one more thing I forgot to tell you. This place right here is where I fill the molds. You're welcome to come by here at any time. But over there...
The candlemaker points to a greasy, thick curtain shrouding the deeper parts of the house.
That's where the secret part of the process takes place. Do not go in there. Understand? Never. Under any circumstances. You know what? Prove that you treat my craft seriously. Then we'll talk. I won't ask much of you. I just need you to walk through the weirdness and burn as many candles as you possibly can. And then, bring back whatever's left of them. I'll be able to recycle at least some of the materials into new candles. Maybe even better candles. It's too bad that most people who use them never come back. Prove to me that you treat my craft seriously, and we'll talk. I know where you're going with this question. You think I use human remains to make my candles? Bollocks!
He steps towards you, arms wide open.
Don't know who told you such ridiculous things. But next time, I promise I'll...
After some abundant cursing, he sighs and calms down.
To make a candle, you need fat. And a few other things you just don't need to know about. But mostly it's fat. Now, tell me, when did you last see a well-nourished human? These hands are the only human component I need. My hands and my skill. It's enough to use one's brain for a second to understand this. I might as well tell you a bit. The other room is full of things that no sane human should witness. Remains of weird spawn aren't a pretty sight, let me tell you. But there's enough fat in them for decent candles. Also, their blood is contaminated by... well, you'd have to ask the druids about that. Because the process is complicated. And weird candles are fragile. A whole batch can be ruined in the blink of an eye. I don't want anyone, and I mean anyone, wandering around in that room.
You see the man playing with a wolf. Looking closer, you realize that it's the same wolf that joined your adventure a while ago.
Look who came over here. It's a magnificent creature. I'm pretty sure it was looking for you.
The blacksmith is hard at work when you approach him.
Don't even think about bringing other blacksmiths here with you. This village is mine. We are dead serious when it comes to competition.
You tell the blacksmith about your encounter with a girl formed of light. A girl who most probably turned into a swan.
Well, that's the strangest thing I've ever heard. But I guess I should get used to that, shouldn't I? With the weirdness all around us. I suppose there's no way she would come to live with me. That's a shame. I really loved her.
His gaze is filled with sorrow. You try to comfort him, and then you hear footsteps nearby. You hear a fake cough just around the corner. It turns out that Hilda, the scientist, is hiding behind the building.
Oh, sorry, comrades. I accidentally overheard something about a woman hiding in the woods. Perhaps turned into an animal or something. I heard a similar story way back when. It supposedly happened in my castle. It turned out to be a witch, living in harmony with the weirdness. Okay, so there is a simple solution to force her to stay in human form long enough to talk to her.
Is this safe?
Safe enough. For humans, at least. Although, if I'm wrong and she's not a witch, well...
Please do whatever it takes to communicate with her. I will owe you.
I'm Hilda, by the way.
Greetings, Hildy. I'm Wayland. Thank you for your help.
They look at each other a little longer than you'd expect them to. Then Hilda turns to you.
Come speak with me in a moment. I'll have the potion ready. Hello. I'm finished. I successfully recreated the formula for a potion that should work for our dear Wayland's love. Just splatter it near the place she likes. That should lure her and force her to stay in human form for a while. And when you're done, tell Wayland that he owes me too. I need a new cauldron. My old one's starting to leak, and that's quite dangerous when it comes to stronger potions.
strolls among the trees.
Oh, hello.
The man
Walking is...
As you journey through the forest, you hear a peculiar sound. It's like claws or teeth raking against metal, mingled with what sounds like the whine of a dog. Instead of a dog, a mighty knight approaches. He's mighty in every sense of the word, especially in size.
You. I haven't smelled you before. I am hungry. So hungry. Do you taste good? Can I eat you? I'm not going anywhere. I'm hungry. I understand. Though it's strange, every creature in my path agrees to be eaten. Perhaps you crossed them as well and saved some meat for me. Something to spare for such an occasion, like our meeting here.
The knight looks at you impatiently.
How rude of you. And I'm hungry, really, really, really hungry.
His voice becomes a growl. His knightly features fade as he shifts into an enormous, grotesque creature. Suddenly he's stinking, huge and drooling. Perhaps offending this noble creature wasn't the best idea. find a chest with... You feel a shock. After a while, you...
Good day, traveler. I'm a market stall.
Something moves at the edge of your sight, something small and humanoid. With your weapon ready, you move deeper into the woods. Then you hear a squeaky voice coming from the darkness.
Quite unique you are.
A small, pale, and seemingly ancient woman emerges from the shadows. She looks at you with a mysterious smile and a keen gaze.
Nobody has come to see me in a long time. Well, the one thing I certainly am is old. Perhaps as old as time itself. But it doesn't matter. Want some candy?
Her gesture clarifies that by candy, she means the small creature, vaguely resembling an octopus, which she clutches in her hand.
I knew it. You're just like the others. That's a test for every creature I come across. He is my favorite being in all of creation. He doesn't talk much, but I'm fond of his presence. You shall certainly not eat him, but I feel that you'll be stuck in this place for a long time. You might learn some manners eventually.
The woman hides her hands behind her back.
Now, I have something for you. Pick a hand.
The investment is going to be worth it, I promise.
Those crystals were... This thick-walled broch was once a private prison. Now that you've broken out the only valuable prisoner kept inside, the place lost its sole reason to exist. Does the broch have any future, other than becoming a shelter for criminals or a mad hermit? Does it hate you for stealing its purpose? Behind a loose stone, you find a small stash of valuables, left by one of the prisoners a long time ago. You notice a man hiding behind the bushes by the road. He's dressed like a nobleman's squire, but his armor is crushed and dented in many places. Rage and despair battle in his bloodshot eyes as he fixes his gaze upon you. As you get closer, he shrieks,
"You cannot have them! Hear me, stranger! I won't give them to you!"
Immediately, your eyes are drawn to a pouch full of valuables lying behind him. He shouts something at you while sidling backwards. He's clearly trying not to let you slip out of his sight.
Leave me alone!
Found what was when you filled your feels like an echo of something that happened before.
Ah, good to see you. Need a candle or two? Good. Thank you. And I promise we'll both benefit from this. Thank you for working for the greater good and our mutual benefit. This proves to me that you deserve to hear things that others simply wouldn't understand. The name's Luke, and I'm really glad to be here. I led a peaceful life making candles for hunters and regular townsfolk. Never charged much, never had any complaints, that is, until the mayor realized that he was helpless against the threat of the weirdness. My craft, however, made me indispensable, so he made me disposable. He turned the villagers against me. All it took was a rumor that the candles are made out of those who went missing in the weirdness, and that was enough for the mob to come baying at my door. Luckily enough, a group of performers came by, and they let me leave with them. They realized that my ability to make weird candles would be very useful on the road. But you know where you found me. In a ruined house, deep in the woods. How do you think I wound up there? Stories tend to repeat themselves. And so the man who helped me out soon noticed that I'd become irreplaceable. So, just like the mayor, he cast me away. Well, this might sound a bit paranoid, but bear with me. When I was living in the forest, I saw a face lurking within the weirdness. It was the face of the man who told me to leave the performers. It's as if he was coming to haunt me. I know I can't be sure, but I feel that he's out there. And if he is, the only thing he deserves is death.
He hands you an amulet, explaining that, for reasons unknown, it used to glow with a faint light whenever the creature got near.
If you ever come across this spiteful weird spawn, please, greet him from me. I never got the courage to do it myself.
You're back already?
The blacksmith is hard. Your path grows increasingly inaccessible as the branches of weirdness, crooked trees splay in all directions. Suddenly, you come upon a woman who, judging by what remains of her tattered clothes, must have been someone of importance at some point in her life. You can't focus on her garb, though, because as she turns, you realize that she's feasting on the rotting flesh of a dead monster. Blood and ichor drip from her open mouth.
Who do we have here? A stranger? It might be your lucky day, Wanderer.
The woman giggles flirtatiously and covers her jagged teeth with one hand.
Give me your life's essence, and I will reward you with my precious stones. Unfortunately, this specimen here is running low.
find the same woman, She's unnaturally old and clearly twisted by the weirdness. She's still searching for something on the ground.
It must be here, somewhere. I just had to find it. I need to find a memory. A runestone which belonged to someone dear to my heart. Maybe you've seen one around here? Maybe you have it? Maybe you've taken it? It's not the one.
Hello again, stranger. Gold for runestones. How about it?
Sometimes I think the stones might be magical. See these markings? I don't know what they are, but when they glow, they look so pretty.
Your steps become slow and labored. You can still.
I see you have found my eyes, human.
Though it has no lips, you could swear the creature is smiling. It gently takes the eyes from your hands and feeds them to the ravens. The eyes of the ravens glow. The ravens become silent and begin observing you with interest.
They stole from me. I had to punish them. As you have seen, they are still alive, and alive they will remain, as long as I do.
You remember the moaning corpses. You remember their torment. You wonder if you can help them somehow.
I know what you consider, and no, you could not defeat me, human, but I do appreciate a loyal follower. I promised you a reward beyond imagination, and you've earned it.
You noticed the ruins of a home that was burned down. There's no telling whether it was destroyed during the war, set alight out of spite, or simply burned down due to an unfortunate accident. You find nothing, and the house changes again.